It's that time again. This is Casablanca Cargo, and I'm Kathy.
Let's get started.
Well, this is one of the things that I'm going to bring to the craft fairs. This is a 50-cent Staples composition notebook. And over the weekend, we went to Savers, and my husband spotted this paper pack. It was $2.99. I think I've got him trained pretty good now to, notice things in all things paper. And I'm happy to say that everything was still in this pack, which is amazing. It's got pull aparts, it's got really cute paper, and it's double-sided too, so that's nice. So if I don't want to use all the pull aparts, I can use the other side of the paper. Very, very cute coffee themed. So I wanted to start today with this paper pack. Now, I'm making this to sell, but you can use something like this on your own composition notebooks. I'm not going to do anything with the paper. I'm just covering the inside covers and the outside covers. I'm going to cover up that Staples, what is it? What do you call that? Label? I don't know. Well, I guess it's a label on the back. Anyway, I'm going to rough it up a bit so that the glue or eventually I'm going to use double-sided tape, but just so that it'll really adhere. The glossy sometimes can be tricky to keep paper from lifting, especially if it's glued. So if you want it to really stick, give it a little bit of a sanding, just take some of that sheen off, brush off the dust. And this coffee label in the middle, I keep calling everything labels. I don't know. I was thinking, do I use a cut apart? And that could work, but I really liked that black framed coffee. And even though it is the cover of the paper pack, I'm fixing the light. I'm sorry. I can't get rid of that glare on the corner. I'm sorry. Well, anyway, I'm cutting out the paper cover. It's a little bit glossy, but I think it'll still work out really well. There's nothing like that in the actual paper collection. So, use everything. Use the cover, use the whatever is part of the paper. Just, you can go for it and use it to decorate your journals and, make little elements and embellishments and, things like that. I really like those flowers. Well, this is what drew me though is the little cups, the little coffee cups, because now that I like the black composition notebook cover, but I want this to sort of pop, as it's there on the cover. So I'm going to take my scoreboard here, which is also a trimmer, trim off the information there. And there's a thing that says coffee on there too, so that can be used, as well. It's just like the whole thing is just gobble it up and make it into stuff. So I want the little coffee cups at the bottom there, so it's about an inch or so. And now I'm like, well, I don't want to cut into coffee cups at the top. I'm just real particular about junk like that. And in the end, I cut that off. My poor husband is having a coughing fit If you hear that, that's him. He's on the other side of the wall. I am marking here where I want the, to bump up. I want it to bump up against the black tape that's on the side of the composition notebook. You see there on the cover, when you get those, they have that tape. And, just sort of measuring a little bit, eyeballing a little bit, because those books, even though they look straight, they're not all cut the same. Not exactly. There's always room for a little bit wiggle room. I'm taking a copper Sharpie, metallic Sharpie, and just going along the edge here just to make a border. Instead of using Distress ink, I thought something different. And making a little line just to finish off that card. It's, I'm real proud of myself for being able to keep it straight. Because sometimes I don't know. I'm like, okay, I'm going to do this. And then as I'm starting, I'm like, what if I screw this up? Then I got to start all over again. But it came out pretty good. Now at first I thought I would use the tacky glue. And then I decided I'm just going to switch and use double-sided tape. I recently got a bigger, thicker couple of rolls of double-sided tape. You'll see those in a moment. This is just to get the coffee title card. Hey, look what I said. I came up with something. Just to get that down on that coffee cup piece of paper there. I'm doing this a little bit slower because I wanted it to be as close to that edge as possible so it won't lift. I'm just going to put a piece of that thick, I think it's 1.5 inches wide, double-sided tape. I got that from Amazon, and this will hold it very secure onto the card, and then I'll do the same thing to the coffee piece of paper and put it on the front of my journal. Just to make sure that those edges don't lift up, I'm using the Scotch Create glue stick just lightly around the perimeter of the card, just to make sure, just to give me an extra bit of gluing power so that the edges don't lift up as best I can, trying to keep everything together. I found a floral sticker on the sticker page, and for this I am using my Aleene's tacky glue. I don't rely on the stickiness of the sticker because I don't know how long the paper pack has been, sitting there. Plus, I feel like it makes it that much more secure. Some stickers, if it was newly minted, probably very strong, but at this point, I don't know. So, just in case, I use the Aleene's tacky glue, and I'm just gonna, wipe around the edges, and then I'm gonna set this aside for a little bit and let that glue dry. Okay, now we're going on to the inside covers. And I really like this coffee-themed black and white. I think it goes really good with the black and white composition notebook. On the other side are these standard, typical scrapbook strips. You used to use them to decorate, and there's other things there. Well, the only thing I really want to keep of this side is the people at the cafe or at the coffee shop waiting in line. I just think that's so cute. So in the inside, this part of the section, I'm going to put pockets at the bottom. It does the paper I'm working with right now doesn't necessarily have to go all the way to the bottom for the pocket. I also am not going to put the scrapbook paper all the way to the edge because I want the notebook to be able to lie flat. So I'm just going to go to the edge of the printed, whatever was printed on the covers, so that those will be covered up. I'm using the 1-inch double-sided tape. Go right to that edge, cover up those lines. And I'm also, let me see, this one I went all the way down to that point where I marked. And that way that the paper, the pocket won't be gummed up with the tape. It's just right now just the long piece of paper that I'm putting in there. Once I get all the tape on all 4 sides, I just take one more pass at it here and put a piece in the middle. Burnish all the tape down, and then pull the backing paper off. And now this part's a little, and then I almost forgot, but then I put a little rub of the glue stick there just to make sure the edges are sealed once it gets down. Now this part here is a little tricky, but I lined up the paper. I'm using my finger to make sure it's at the edge at the top and making sure that it is on the tape on the sides, especially there on the inside next to the edge there, and then just taking scissors and trimming it off. Yeah, it's the tricky part is getting it down and not getting it crooked, because there is no wiggle room with double-sided tape like that. For the pockets, I'm going to use some of that cute cut paper that I used on the front. I've got approximately 6 inches to work with, so I'm going to do 3 inches per pocket. Now the journal is wider than 6 inches, so I have to use two strips, and I'll have a little bit left over instead of just folding it in half and then using either side. Again, I'm using the 1/4 inch double-sided tape, and I'm putting one piece down here at the bottom, and then I'll put the other ones on the pocket, and then add it to the inside. Before I add the pocket, I'm going to make a little notch in the center so that it indicates that it is a pocket, and it makes it a little bit easier to get things into that pocket. I'm using the 1/4 inch wide double-sided tape. I'll use a little bit of the Create glue stick and adhere it to the pocket, or to the cover, to make a pocket. I use the same technique for the back and side cover. Alright, let me show you the end results. Here's the front cover, here's the back. I use more of the paper and then a little piece of the paper collection that says coffee, coffee, coffee. And here's my inside pocket on the front, the inside pocket on the back. And yeah, I think it turned out really cute, And that is one composition notebook done. See you soon. Bye for now.